and welcome back to GK Today. I am Sana and in this video we'll cover the current affairs. Before we move ahead, let me inform you that these questions are part of our daily 20 MCQ series 2022 in the GK Today's Android application. So if you are looking for the text version of these questions and their explanations along with the interactive quiz, you may consider joining our daily 20 MCQ series in the GK Today Android application. In this course in app, you get daily 20 MCQs, a fortnightly quiz, a monthly revision document, and also category-wise revision e-books that are optimized for reading on mobile. You are also able to access all archives of questions from January 2020 onwards. And let me tell you one more thing. If you want the Hindi version of this session, you can refer to our former channel named as GK Today. The link has been given in the description box from where you can reach to. So without taking much of your time, let's get started.
Good morning everyone. Welcome back to GK Today. And today we'll be discussing most important MCQs for 4th of October 2022. Let's start. After the recent Monetary Policy Committee meeting of Reserve Bank of India for the month of October 2022, what is the 2022 to 23 growth projection for India? So after the recent MPC meeting of RBI, the Reserve Bank has cut the 2022 to 23 growth projection to 7% from its previous estimate of 7.2%. Okay, and RBI also made the fourth rate hike in this financial year because the repo rate was hiked by 50 basis points to 5.9%, and the standing deposit facility, that is SDF rate, stands to 5.65%, and the marginal standing facility rate and the bank rate was at 6.15%. Fine. So RBI has basically estimated the growth projection for this time period at 7.0%. Next is, which institution unveiled a list of 50 exclusive and iconic heritage textile crafts of India? So UNESCO has recently released a list of 50 exclusive and iconic heritage textile craft of India named as handmade for the 21st century, safeguarding the traditional Indian textiles. Okay, so it basically describes the processes behind their making, mentions and the causes for their declining popularity, and provide the strategies for their preservation. Fine. So some of the craft in this list include, for example, Toda embroidery and Sungadi from the state of Tamil Nadu. Then Himru weaves from Hyderabad, and Bandha tie and the dye weaving from the state of Odisha. Okay, so you'd not be asked about the list. Only thing you have to remember is which institution has unveiled it. Answer would be UNESCO. Next is, as per a recent UNICEF report, what percentage of child marriages can fall down if higher education is provided to the girls? So according to the UNICEF report that has been released recently, 80% of child marriages can fall down if higher education is provided to all the girls. And also it is noted that secondary education is a much stronger and more consistent protection against the child marriage than primary school education. And the most progress in the past decade was seen in South Asia, where a girl's risk of marrying in childhood dropped by over 1/3, or you can say 30%. Okay, so here correct answer would be 80%. Don't forget that the US has recently hosted a historic summit and signed a partnership agreement with more than 12 Pacific Island nations, for example, Fiji, the Marshall Islands, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, etc. Okay, and US President Joe Biden announced that the country was committed to increasing its presence in the region amidst growing concerns about China's growing military and economic influence. And don't forget that Australia and the country New Zealand also participated in the summit as the observers. Fine. So you can be asked that which country has recently signed a partnership agreement with the Pacific Island nations. So that country is USA. Next is, which technology major has announced to set up its first cloud region in Greece? So Google has recently announced to set up its first cloud region in Greece because the country is making efforts to become a world cloud computing hub, right? So this deal is estimated to contribute nearly $2.13 billion to the GDP of Greece, and it will create nearly 20,000 jobs by the year 2030. A cloud region is actually a cluster of data centers, you can say. Fine. And don't forget that Microsoft has also decided to build a data center hub in the country. Fine. And talking about the Google, don't forget that Indian Council for Cultural Relations has recently announced a collaboration deal with Google. Why? To promote the Sanskrit language. Okay. And both these organizations have signed a memorandum of understanding to advance the Google's artificial intelligence machine learning language technology for translating Sanskrit literature to many other languages and vice versa. Fine. So you can be asked that Indian Council for Cultural Relations has partnered with which technology company so as to promote Sanskrit language. So this would be Google. Next is, which state announced to form State Transformation Commission to replace the State Planning Commission? So Uttar Pradesh Cabinet has recently approved a Micro Small Medium Enterprises Promotion Policy 2022 along with Uttar Pradesh Bioenergy Policy 2022. Okay. So State Cabinet has also approved a proposal to reorganize the State Planning Commission as the State Transformation Commission on the pattern of the Niti Aayog. So now STC would act as a policy think tank to the government as well as perform the work of the Planning Commission. Okay. So don't forget that Uttar Pradesh is the state that has recently decided to form a State Transformation Commission so as to replace the State Planning Commission. Can you tell me which state has recently decided to form a body in its state just like Niti Aayog? Do let me know in the comments. Next is, what is the theme of the International Translation Day 2022? So every year we observe this day on 30th of September to honor the work of translators and the language professionals across the world. And this year theme was a world without barriers. Okay. So two things are obviously important. First of all, when do we observe this particular day? Answer would be 30th of September. And what is the theme for this year? So it is a world without barriers. Next is, which Indian personality has won the Changemaker Award at the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals Action Award? So Srishti Bakshi, who is a women's rights activist from the country India, was honored with the Changemakers Award at the United Nations SDG Action Award. And she has traveled nearly 3,800 kilometers around the country in less than 1 year to raise awareness on gender-based violence and inequality. Fine. And also she was awarded for confronting gender-based violence and advocating for safe access to public spaces. Fine. So which Indian personality has won this award? So answer would be Srishti Bakshi. You can also be asked that the person who has won the Changemaker Award at this award function was from which country? So answer would be India. Fine. Next is, which city is the host of the 36th National Games of India 2022? So Prime Minister Narendra Modi recently declared the 36th National Games open at Narendra Modi Stadium in Ahmedabad, right? So Prime Minister also inaugurated the Swarnim Gujarat Sports University in the state of Gujarat, and Gujarat is hosting this national game for the very first time. Fine. So nearly 15,000 sports person, coaches or officials from across the country will participate in total 36 sport discipline. Fine. So don't forget that the host of 36 national games of India is Ahmedabad. Next is, which state won the first prize for the best adventure tourism destination and all around development of tourism? So Uttarakhand government received the first prize in two categories for the best adventure tourism destination and all around development of tourism from the Ministry of Tourism, obviously. Okay. So Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar presented the National Tourism Award 2018-19 on the occasion of World Tourism Day, and also he launched the photography and videography contest during the event. Okay. So you have to remember that the first prize in this category was won by Uttarakhand state government. Next is, which business person topped the IIFL Wealth Huron India 40 and Under Self-Made Rich List 2022? So Nikhil Kamath, who is the co-founder of Zerodha, topped the IIFL Wealth Huron India 40 and Under Self-Made Rich List 2022, and he has a net worth of 17,500 crore rupees. Okay. At second position there was Bhavish Agarwal. Who is this? He is the founder of Ola, and he has a net worth of 11,700 crore rupees. At third there was Divyank Turakhia, and he has a net worth of 11,200 crore rupees. Fine. Apart from it, don't forget that Kaivalya Vohra, who is the 19-year-old co-founder of Zepto, which is a kind of instant grocery application, is the youngest self-made entrepreneur, while Neha Narkhade, who is the co-founder of Confluent, is the youngest self-made woman entrepreneur. So these names are quite important, and here correct answer would be Nikhil Kamath. Next question, carbon calculator feature which was seen in the news recently is associated with which company? So global payments and technology company MasterCard is set to roll out the carbon calculator feature in the Indian bank, and the personalized carbon footprint tracker can actually inform the consumers about the cumulative effect of carbon footprint across the monthly spending categories. And MasterCard carbon calculator was developed in collaboration with Swedish fintech Doconomy, and it is used in over 25 countries at present. Fine. Now MasterCard was also in news because few days back it has signed on 4 badminton players as their brand ambassadors. And who are these players? So first is Lakshya Sen, second is Kidambi Shrikant, and third is Satvik Siraj, Ranki Reddy, and fourth is Chirag Shetty, right? Next is, which state is set to set up the world's largest jungle safari park across 10,000 acres? So Haryana has recently announced that 2 international firms will be hired to develop the world's largest jungle safari park that would be spread across 10,000 acres in the Aravalli ranges. Okay, and this proposed project will be jointly developed by the Union Ministry of Environment, Forest and the Climate Change and the Haryana government. And at present, the largest curated safari park outside Africa is in Sharjah, which spans to over 2,000 acres. Okay, so world's largest jungle safari park would be set up in the state of Haryana. So these are the most important current affairs and the news from today. And now we'll come to our revision section. Which 3 categories we are covering today? So first of all, we'll talk about few important days and themes. At second, we'll see important countries that were in news. And at last, we'll talk about few important partnerships, or you can say agreement. Okay, let's start with days and themes. World Rabies Day is observed marking the death anniversary of which particular scientist? So we observe this day on 28th of September, and this is a kind of tribute to Louis Pasteur, whose death anniversary is observed on this day. What is the theme of the World Maritime Day 2022? So actually this day is observed on last Thursday of September month, and this year it falls on 29th of September. What was the theme? I'm writing it here. New technologies for greener shipping. Okay. When is the International Day of Awareness on Food Loss and Waste Reduction observed every year? This day is observed on 29th of September, and this year theme was Stop Food Loss and the Waste for People and Planet. Okay. What is the theme of the World Heart Day 2022? So this day is observed on 29th of September, and this year theme was Use Heart for Every Heart. Fine. What is the theme of the World Rivers Day 2022? So this day is celebrated on 25th of September every year, and this year theme was the importance of rivers to biodiversity. World Pharmacist Day is observed during which month? So it is observed in the month of September, and the specific date is 25th of September. What is the theme for this year? So it is Pharmacy United in Action for a Healthier World. Okay. What is the theme of the World Tourism Day 2022? So it is observed on 27th of September, and this year theme was Rethinking Tourism. Fine. What is the theme of the World Rhino Day 2022? This day is celebrated on 22nd of September, and this year theme was 5 rhino species forever. Fine. Now next we'll be talking about the countries that were in news. Gazeta Wyborcza, which was awarded the Golden Pen of Freedom Award, is a newspaper from which country? So you can be asked that which newspaper has won the Golden Pen of Freedom Award. So the name of this paper is Gazeta Wyborcza, and this is a newspaper from the country Poland. Hurricane Ian, which was seen in the news recently, hit which country? So this hurricane has recently hit the USA. Which country hosted the exercise Operation Southern Readiness? So it was hosted by Seychelles. National Anti-Corruption Commission Bill is associated with which country? So this is a bill of the country Australia. These days Australia has hosted 2 exercises. First is Pitch Black, and second one is exercise Kakadu. Which country launched experimental satellites named as Shiyan-14 and Shiyan-15? These 2 satellites belong to the country China. NROL-91, which was seen in the news recently, was launched by which country? So it was launched by the country USA. Typhoon Noru, which was seen in the news, has made the landfall in which country? So this typhoon Noru has actually hit the country Philippines. Giorgia Meloni, who was seen in the news recently, is the first female Prime Minister of which European country? So she has become the first female Prime Minister of the country Italy. Okay. You can also be asked that who is the first female Prime Minister of the country Italy? So answer would be Giorgia Meloni. Name is important. Next we'll be talking about the important partnerships. Which is the first life insurance company in India to have a 74% stake held by a foreign partner? So Ageas Federal is the very first insurance company of India which have a 74% stake that is held by a foreign partner. Skill India has partnered with which technology company to upskill the youth in emerging technologies in India? So for upskilling the youth in emerging technologies in India, Skill India has actually partnered with Samsung. Which country has partnered with China for its moon exploration missions? So China would help the country UAE for its moon exploration missions. India Post Payments Bank has partnered with which social media platform to promote the financial literacy. This is coup. ISRO partnered with which country's space agency in space technology during Bengaluru Space Expo? This is the country Australia. AICTE has partnered with which technology company to accelerate the digital creativity skills across India? So for this purpose, it has partnered with Adobe. Which company has partnered with technology giants such as Meta, Google, Microsoft and Intel to roll out the 5G services? This company is Reliance. Okay. Now two more partnerships are there which are quite important. First of all, recently India has entered into a collaboration with California. Why? For research and innovation in the field of zero emission vehicles. Okay. And this California India ZEV policy program is aimed at supporting the ZEV uptake in India and also to promote the development of an electric vehicle industry in growth. So as a part of this collaboration, a new India ZEV Research Center was also set up. So you can be asked that India has partnered with which US state for the zero emission vehicles policy program? So this is California. Okay. And second news is the NASCOM Foundation and American Express have partnered to train and upskill 700 women graduates through an employment linked training project. Okay. And under this, technology based skill development and entrepreneurship training will be given to the women. And this technical course include, for example, cloud and data analytics, blockchain, machine learning and artificial intelligence. Fine. So you can be asked that which financial services company has partnered with NASCOM Foundation for women empowerment through technology project? So answer would be American Express. Okay. Now let's start with today's quiz. Here on the slide you can see 5 questions which have been taken from the past 2-3 days current affairs. Pause the video and try to solve each of these questions. And at the end of the lecture, do not forget to share your scores in the comment section. So please be honest and do not cheat with yourself. So that's it for today. I hope you have liked the session. These were the important news and events from today, and we will meet again tomorrow with some more important current affairs. Till then, stay tuned. Thank you so much for watching, and please do not forget to subscribe to GK Today. With this, Minus Hadsana signing off.